Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Wednesday, the 14th of August. Welcome relief for many households and businesses. The Reserve Bank has cut the official cash rate 25 basis points to 5.25% and is forecasting at least one more cut this year. Governor Adrian Orr says today's cut was an easy decision. He says the bank's committee is now confident inflation is returning to the 1 to 3% target.
It's been about building the committee's confidence to get moving, and we're at that point now.
The Herald's Liam Dan says the Reserve Bank is still signalling tough times ahead.
They say the economy has materially weakened, and it looks like they're saying that we could well be in another recession.
The Finance Minister says the rates drop is welcome relief for families and businesses, letting Kiwis pay less interest on mortgage loans and credit cards. Nicola Willis says it shows hard economic conditions are easing, in turn giving businesses confidence to invest and hire. Police are treating a large bag of lollies donated to Auckland City Mission, believed to have come from overseas, as fully contaminated with meth. Rinda brand pineapple sweets were handed out in parcels over several weeks, and samples have now been forensically tested. Up to 400 people may have received them, and at least 16 lollies have been recovered so far. Detective Inspector Glenn Baldwin says 3 people needed medical assistance after tasting a lolly and spitting it out.
A charity worker was taken to Auckland City Hospital yesterday evening, having experienced some symptoms which would be consistent with consumption of methamphetamine.
And he says 2 young people were also taken to hospital, but everyone's been discharged. Drug Foundation Deputy Director Ben Burks-Ang says dependence is unlikely after just a taste. Burks-Ang says anyone concerned about potentially consuming the lollies can contact health or drug and alcohol services.
There are people who may have had these who have prior experiences of addiction. That may be a challenging time for them at the moment.
The man in charge of Health New Zealand says the agency must and will live within its means. Lester Levy emailed staff to address a presentation yesterday that suggested significant frontline cuts. He told them it directly conflicted with his thinking and should be dismissed. He's now told the Health Innovators Summit in Auckland more about his plan. Levy says Health New Zealand needs to rationalise its planning because it has too many priorities.
We're going to have very clear priorities. We're going to bring focus into the organisation. We're going to bring discipline into the organisation, and we will change whatever needs to be changed.
The PPTA continues to express concern about charter schools. The first should be opening next year, with applicants being contacted next month. The government plans to convert 35 state schools to charter schools, the first expected to be smaller ones. PPTA President Chris Abercrombie suggests it'll take local ownership from schools.
Public schools should be public. Your local community should be in charge of your local school. This just isn't the case of charter schools.
In sport, 8-time Olympic gold medalist Dame Lisa Carrington is undecided on whether she'll commit to competing at the 2028 Los Angeles Games. Winning Olympic gold and qualifying for the LPG Hall of Fame has yet to sink in for golfer Lydia Ko. She's preparing for the Scottish Open starting tomorrow night, a tune-up for next week's Women's Open Major. And Kimi Ora-Poi hopes the chance to partner with Kate Heffernan in the mid-court could set her up for a return to the Silver Ferns after moving from the tactics to the steel. I'm Raylene Ramsey. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.